Hello everyone. In this video we'll be covering the story, or rather the small pieces of story that we know of the Japanese visual kei street performer Maria Cross, also known as Maria Sama. Before we start, I would like to thank everybody for watching and enjoying my video on Romantica. It's insane to me how many views this video has right now compared to the new Malice Miser Iceberg, for example. Also, something huge has happened. I got a second Patreon, so huge shout out to Haitani and Mumble Honey for supporting me on Patreon. This video will be way darker than the Romantica video. While the worst crime committed by the Romantica guys is posting cringe on the internet, Maria is an actual alleged criminal. So I gotta give out a content warning for mentions of CSA and similar things of this type. Just all around not being nice to people in a very fucked up way, including minors. Anyways, let's get into the video. Kazuhiro Naoki was born May 24th in either 1981 or 1982. According to vk.gy, he started his first solo project, Megami Maria, somewhere around the beginning of 2003. His earliest known street performance happened in February of that year. He quickly became infamous due to his unique appearance and singing style. TV Tropes compares Maria's music style to, quote, the extremes of noise music, grindcore and noise grind. However, Maria himself had described his music as, quote, silent music with melodious singing plus ultrasound, destruction, cruelty and sexual elements that resonate in silence. Honestly, his music is way more coherent than Romantica's. It might not be great, but it's something one might consider a banger. 幸せあるように一つ私だけ愛してくれた日々傷つかれ言葉しか答え During one of Maria's street lives in Kichijoji, when he was singing ex-Japan songs, he was approached by Gami, who had just begun playing acoustic guitar. For about 2 weeks, Maria and Gami performed together on the street until the police made them stop. In August 2003, the two formed an acoustic visual kei project named Cross. Quote, the name was inspired by the fact that two people from worlds that never intersect, cute visual kei and acoustic music, had crossed paths. Their first official live was held in October of that year, then in December they released their first song titled Winter Love Song. In August 2004, electric guitarist Yasan, bassist Jun and drummer Tom had joined the band, but they left shortly after their first show together in September. The project ceased activities at the end of 2004, but it had a couple of revivals in the following years, and they released some new music. A mini album Sosei in March 2005 and a single Phyllis in September 2006. Phyllis is Maria's only song which has a promotional video. In 2006 or 7, someone named Adi recorded a short documentary about Maria. It was played on MTV Italy and for some reason it was uploaded to YouTube by a channel of a Ghanaian movie titled African Kung Fu Nazis. I don't know what that's all about, but okay. From this documentary we learned that Maria lived in a small apartment with his girlfriend. He got the name Maria while working at the nightclub.
マリアは昔水商売やった時につけた名前なんですよ、なんとなくそこからずっとマリアです。全部自分で空想してラブソング系のを作ってることもあればなんか、空想でなんか残酷な人が殺されたりとかそんなようなからあとはエロいやつからいろいろ書いてますよね。
He makes music by randomly mashing buttons on the Yamaha QI100 mini synthesizer.
これだけで作ってます。ここにいろんな音が入ってるんですよ。で、それを組み立てて押していくわけでね。そう。
His schedule consisted of work in the night shift at the convenience store from Monday to Saturday, then on Sunday he hits the streets of Tokyo to give his performance.
バイトをもっと減らしてもっと音楽をやりたいとか、そこで売れるまでやはり自分で稼ぎながらやる形になりますかね。普通の仕事とかに興味はなくて、やはり音楽やってる方が見たい感じですか。
He actually visited multiple locations, including popular tourist destinations, to give multiple performances in one day. And he actually managed to amass a crowd of more than 200 people, Japanese and foreigners, before a policeman asked him to stop.
In Shinjuku, Maria-sama draws an audience exceeding 200. The opinions about his performance, as you might expect, vary.
I don't know what he wants. However, he's not sexy at all.
This is good. I don't know, I like it. I especially like the dancing better though.
I think
hand motion.
Yeah, his fans, that's what makes it key.
いや、これは男でしょうね。女かなこれ。わからん。
The police eventually show up and, as is the norm, tell him to call it a day.
2006 is also the year that Maria considers to be the start of his solo career for some reason. Maria's first single, Kami Kiyoku Togeyaku Uta, was released in December 2007. 2008 saw the release of two maxi singles, Kamichi and Kamikyoku, For You. In 2008, Maria became the vocalist of the band Bifrost. Its concept is described on vk.gy as Freaky Fusion Band. It was disbanded in 2009. Maria released a live DVD in 2009 and a mini album in May 2010. I was able to find an archive snapshot of Maria's profile on his website from March 2007. From it we can learn that his zodiac sign is Goddess, his blood type is beautiful, he lives in heaven, his occupation is dreamer, there's no one else who looks like his beautiful self, he is 178 centimeters tall, which is about 5.8 freedom units for all my bald eagles out there, that's about 52 times smaller than a football field. He weighs 3 milligrams, which is 0.000061 pounds. To illustrate it better for you normal people who aren't communists like we Europoors are, if you have a McDonald's quarter pounder, Maria weighs about as much as all the sesame seeds on it do. His hobbies are singing and fashion, his special skill is his vocal range. Checks out. His personality is super narcissist and super selfish. He has never smoked a cigarette, he's not interested in men, only in women who smell like the sun and the moon. He likes seafood and melon soda, doesn't drink alcohol. His favorite bands are Lost Horizons, Sonata Arctica, Halloween, which I guess is a misspell of Halloween, which is a very cool band by the way, Keeper of the Seven Keys 2 is one of my favorite albums. Underground and Loudness. His favorite game is quote, Game Boy Advance, LOL, my sealed away gamer spirit has been revived, sweats. His favorite car is the Toei Oedo subway line in Tokyo. His dream is to be able to use 4 octaves in his natural voice and then go to a full Nippon Budokan. His favorite animal is Hamtaro, which I put in the script just to remember the name of this cute little thing. He doesn't respect anybody, he sings his own songs at karaoke, he wonders if money is everything in the world. And the rest is just gibberish. Since 2009, Maria had sometimes went by Chosetsu Bijin Shijimi Kyoran Satsuriku Hakai Seiyoku Tenshi Maria-sama, which translates to extremely beautiful, silent, frenzied, slaughtering, destructive, lustful angel Lady Maria. In January 2011, news came out that Maria had appeared in an erotic photoshoot for a gay magazine. The photos were posted online, but I wasn't able to find them as a link to the site that hosted them for download is now dead. Not that I would show them to you obviously. The magazine also included measurements of Maria's wee-wee, which reminds me of someone who I talked about in the past. Is this a thing that Japanese people do? There's a rumor that he had also appeared in a quote, hardcore gay porn, but I didn't find any concrete info on this, just some random mentions. In October 2010, Maria started a band named Maria Company. The band went through many lineup changes. Members of the band include guitarist Himetsuki, bassist Zero, drummer Lush, keyboardist Halka, guitarist Daimon, air guitarist Komaria, guitarist Runa. The last known live of the band was held in December 2015. The earliest mention of Maria being arrested and sentenced for molesting an underage fan that I could find is from a November 2011 LiveJournal post. I wasn't able to find an exact date of when that would have happened. According to vk.gy, there does seem to have been an over 1 year long pause in Maria's activity between 2011 and 2012, but by taking a look at Maria's old Twitter profile, we can see that there's no pause in his posting between the account's creation in April 2011 and June 2013. Furthermore, his Amiblo blog was active without any breaks since July 2010 until September 2017. This leaves us no major breaks in Maria's internet presence since his music career had started in 2003. Unless I had missed something or he received a very short sentence, I see no indication that he had spent any time in prison. However, this absolutely does not mean that the CSA claims against Maria are unfounded. And personally, based on a certain incident which we'll talk about later, I find it quite possible that something like this might have taken place. The reason why he didn't go to prison might be because, according to one comment I found, the minor in question was, quote, an older teenager, and at the time the age of consent in Japan was 13, which is pretty fucking weird in my opinion, but who the fuck am I to question the criminal laws of a country which considers it would be fair to sentence a YouTuber to 2 years in prison for violating copyright law by posting gameplay videos without permission from the game's publisher, which thinks that man who tortured a girl to death shouldn't have been charged with murder but with causing bodily injury, and I did deserve to have a right to anonymity, and which refused to put a cannibal and necrophiliac on trial. I'm sorry, I digress. In 2012, Maria and his girlfriend Ko-Maria started a project named Maria to Tsunagari Gia, and in spring 2014 they got married. There's also a claim that they have a son who attends Maria's concerts, but I'm not sure if that's true or not, I only found 2 mentions of it. Maria and Ko-Maria had frequently performed live from 2012 to 2020. In September 2016, Maria's song Phyllis was included in a compilation album titled Danger Tribe. On May 26, 2019, Maria, who was working the drink bar at an event at Ikekuboro Cyber, was accused by Kaito Sentai Nusumanger vocalist Masao of mixing alcohol into drinks for people who requested non-alcoholic beverages and of giving alcohol to minors at the venue. He would then proceed to hit on the underage girls, much to their discomfort. The company running the venue allegedly apologized but refused to do anything about this. 2020 saw another pause in Maria's musical activities, which this time lasted until 2022. Rumor has it that he went to prison again, but the reason is not clear. People on Reddit say he was either sentenced for CSA or for tax evasion. And that's a pretty fucking wide range of possibilities. But if we check Maria's current Twitter profile, unless those 2021 photos were taken at his prison cell, there's no indication that he went to jail at any time since 2015. If Maria did go to prison at any point in his life, it would have to be before his music career or sometime between 2007 and 2010, but I didn't find any mentions of his criminal activities dating so far back, and he seems to have been frequently performing at the time. I wish I could get to the bottom of this, but at this point I don't think it will be possible for me to do so. Maybe there's more info on the Japanese side of the internet, but unfortunately I don't really know the language. In 2024, Maria defeated Imai of Backtick in low-quality VK's Most Cursed Bandman poll on Twitter. In round 2 he lost to Kenji of Golden Bomber. Despite his reputation as one of the most hated Visual Kei musicians, Maria is still active in the music scene. He's still doing live shows, and according to his Twitter, the tickets to his concerts cost 3,000 yen, which is about $21. I'll leave it up to you to decide whether or not that's a fair price. Unfortunately, I think that would be it for this video. I'm sorry if I'm leaving you with more questions than answered, but it all turned out to be so bizarre, and the more I look into Maria, the more convoluted the story gets. There's also not really much material to work with. I hope that despite all this you still enjoyed this video, even if it turned out to be pretty underwhelming. I'm not really satisfied with it, but you know, I invested so much time into it. It would be a shame if it all had gone to waste. Once again, thank you to Haitani and Mabul Honey for supporting me on Patreon. Thank you for watching. Sorry if the video was a little bit boring, and goodbye.